Thank you for listening to the Midwest Horse Fair Outside the Arena podcast, where we share wonderful real-life stories and expert advice from the equine clinicians and entertainers from around the country who have been a part of the largest 3-day horse fair in the USA. Our first series will include several interviews conducted during the 2024 fair. This is Kelly Kinney, the Midwest Horse Fair Coliseum announcer, and we hope you'll all stick around and learn more about the fascinating lives of these experts outside the arena.
Welcome to the Midwest Horse Fair podcast. We are here today with Liberty and Maddie. They are part of the Pegasus Riders, and they are trick riders,
Roman riders, everything.
Yeah, they do it all, right? So just start off, kind of introduce yourselves and talk about your background.
I'm Liberty Cunningham. I'm 13 years old from Lewisburg, Kansas. I have 7 of my own horses, and I perform on 3 of them as of right now. 4 of them are identical paints that look alike, and I Roman ride on them, which is standing up on 2 horses, and trick ride, which is hanging off of a running horse.
I'm Maddie Gaedrel. I'm from Polo, Missouri, and I have 8 of my own horses. I have a dressage horse and my trick riding horses, and I do Liberty with my pony.
All right, awesome. So how did each of you kind of get started doing what you do?
My mom was a trick rider, so I kind of fell in love with the idea of it. And I grew up with Bethany Isles, Kisner.
Okay, that's the connection. Very cool.
And then when I was about 3, I met Carla June, and that's how I got my start into Liberty and that discipline and everything. And then last year I started doing dressage when I got an invitation.
I was inspired by Bethany Kisner when I was like 3 years old at a local rodeo, and I wanted to be a trick rider after that. And so my mom reached out to her mom when I was 8, and my mom got me trick riding lessons for Christmas, and then I started. And since I've been a dancer my whole life, I kind of picked it up pretty easy, and I joined the group like a month after I started getting lessons.
That's cool. I like that you talked about Bethany. We have her on the podcast as well, and we were talking about her just performing and being an inspiration. And I know it's going to be great for young riders to see you guys out there doing it at your age, because you are just 13 years old. This is pretty wild. So how do you prepare yourself physically and mentally for your sport?
Well, mentally, it's definitely very hard because, it's a horse, not a robot, unfortunately, and they definitely have a mind of their own, so you have to, learn to get around that part, and then, once you know how to work through that with your horse, then it gets a lot easier mentally, and you know how to handle that, and then physically,
you said you were a dancer.
Yeah.
Does that help you at all in what you're doing?
It does help me a lot with my stamina and stuff, but then also just Roman riding, because Roman riding takes a lot of leg strength, but I don't have to do extra leg workouts. I just have to Roman ride and my legs get stronger.
Okay. Maddie, how about you?
Well, I've done this since I was 3, so I kind of gotten around the mental part. It really doesn't faze me anymore.
Okay, very cool. I love that.
Yeah, and then I don't know how I prepare for it physically.
You just ride all the time.
I just do.
Okay.
I ride.
You ride a lot, and practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys have been around the block. You performed in a variety of different places. In each of your opinions, what's the coolest place that you've had the opportunity to perform at?
There's a lot of those. I think one of my favorites was Briarfest 2022.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then I also really liked, what's it called? The one that we did last year.
Equine Fair?
Yes, Equine Fair.
Okay, yeah.
We did Equine Fair Ohio and Massachusetts last year, and it was super fun.
Yeah.
I liked both of those, and then Vegas was interesting, but I liked Vegas.
You like Vegas?
It's fun.
Very cool.
It's very different. Very different.
Do you guys have a favorite memory at each of those places or story you could tell?
My favorite story from Vegas is her mom was in the truck, and they were going down the Vegas Strip with the horse trailer.
Oh boy.
And my mom
We got
freaked
stuck
out
on it.
Yeah,
Yes.
like they got stuck.
It's very
For
easy
hours.
to get stuck on there.
Yes.
At midnight, or not
Yep.
midnight, like 10 o'clock.
Yep. It's always busy.
Her mom got scared that the horses were freaking out, so her mom jumped out of the truck in the middle of the Vegas Strip, ran to the trailer, jumped through the horse window,
No.
and gave them hay.
Oh, because you weren't moving, right?
Yeah,
Everything
We were dead stop.
Wow.
And like the people around her were like, "What in the world is happening?" They probably thought we were like holding her hostage and she was escaping.
I love that. So what is the hardest trick? What's the hardest maneuver you guys have to do? Because there is a level of fitness and physical ability you guys have out there, and what's the hardest thing to do?
For trick riding? Or for
Anything. Like, what's difficult?
all of it?
I know you guys can do everything, but like,
I think the most difficult trick for me, it's physically, but because it's physically challenging, it's mentally challenging.
Okay.
It's called the Stroud, and I'm like a whole 78 pounds. And when my horse, it's like, the Stroud is basically when you're like standing sideways on your horse.
okay.
And when my horse turns the corner, I get blown back.
Okay.
Like you're supposed to stay forward, and I like just like fly away like a parachute. I don't know. And, it's a little hard mentally because I'm like trying to get over the fact that I think I'm gonna fly into outer space and my horse is gonna fall on me, which he's not. I mean, I probably feel like a feather, but it's a bit challenging. And then that's physical and mental. But then the most physical, I think, would be, at least for me, the shoulder stand, because it takes a lot of arm strength. What about you, Maddie?
Probably vaulting. It's not as hard as it used to be. I gained quite a bit of strength over the winter, so it's a lot easier for me now. But it's mentally hard for me because I flew off so many times and ate a lot of dirt and got kicked in the head a few times. So sometimes it's hard to want to jump off your horse while it's sprinting.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about your guys' horses? You know,
Yeah.
you've got your paints that you're doing in your acts. You know, tell us a little about them.
So, all 7 or just the 4?
Let's go with the
Yeah,
four.
just the performance
Okay,
strength.
just
Yeah.
the 4. So first we have Blair. I've had her since 2019, and she's an American paint. When we first got her, she kind of knew how to run in a circle and just run in a circle, and that was about it.
Solid.
And I was like 8, and I was kind of freaked out. So then my sister rode her. Now my sister hates her. Now they hate each other. I don't think that worked out very well, but she loves me. It's okay. She's had a lot of progress in the last 4.5 years. She's something else. Well, Blair's her own thing.
Blair's her own Blair.
Yes. And then next is Cletus. I got him in 2021. Don't worry, I was not the one that named him Cletus.
That's a great name. What are you talking about?
He's great. So he's not full American paint. He's a pinto of something. He looks really strange. He has a small face, small body, and really chunky legs. So he looks really strange. But he actually was a hog hunting horse in the Ozarks, which is a little strange.
Cool.
And he was also a barrel horse, a flag, drill team. He kind of did everything, and now I use him for Roman riding. Oh, I forgot to say, Blair's my trick riding horse.
Okay,
But
okay.
I use Cletus for Roman riding, and that's about all he does, and he's like my lead Roman horse. And then Elite, she is, I think, 10, and she's an American paint. I got her in 2022, and she's Roman riding and trick riding. I'm actually performing on her for Roman riding, like at Midwest Horse Fair, but at home, we're working on trick riding, and she's doing super good. And then last but not least, we have Special. Special is very special. She's 6 years old. I got her in July, and the next day she ran through a fence and severed her tendon in half.
Ooh.
Not even 24 hours.
Like, not even 24
Yeah.
hours. We're pretty sure the culprit here was Cletus that ran it behind her.
Cletus.
Yeah, but she's
Well
chilling
done.
now. She's been on Star Rest like ever since I got her, but it's fine. She's really goofy. She's the tallest of all of mine. I taught her how to smile. She was a barrel horse, and she's gonna hopefully do Liberty, trick riding, and Roman riding. So she's hopefully just gonna do everything, and she's really sweet, and yeah, that's all of my performance horses. They all look like dairy cows.
I was gonna say, why do you keep choosing paint horses? What is it about the paint horses for you?
I got Blair, and then when I was looking for a Roman horse, we were like, we should match. And then we were like, wait, I think my Roman horse needs a friend. And so then we got a Roman horse, but then the horse that needed a friend, who needed a friend, that horse needed a friend, and we got special.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Well, I love it. I think the American Paint Horse Association should be calling you for sponsorships. We're plugging that right now. Maddie, how about you and some of the horses that you ride and train?
Well, I only have 3 performance horses now because she took my other one.
Okay.
Gosh, but I'm still going to talk about her because she did talk about her.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, I was talking about my cows.
Okay, so first we have Sparky. She's my trick riding horse. She's 14, and I got her a year.
2022. That was 2 years ago.
A year and a half ago. And I don't know. She's my trick riding horse, and yeah, she's buckskin, and that's about all she does. And then my dressage horse, he's an Andalusian, a Spanish Andalusian. He was imported when he was 4.5. I think he's 11 now. And he has a friend. His name is Benny, and he's a donkey. A rescue donkey.
I love that.
Yeah, because he gets bullied even though he's the biggest horse on the property.
Okay.
And then we have Razor, and he's about 10 hands. He's a Shetland.
Okay.
And he was on The Walking Dead and Pepsi
No way.
commercials. Not with me, with his old owner.
Okay.
And I've had him for 5 years now, and he's pretty great. He's a
Liberty pony.
He's a Liberty pony.
And which one's your favorite to work with?
I don't have a favorite.
Okay, no favorites.
We have to talk about Mouse.
Okay.
Can't forget about Mouse. Mouse is a Kansas Kelpin horse. She's 22 years old. She was rescued 20 years ago.
She was a whole $10.
She was a whole $10. Very expensive. And she's actually not my horse. She's Carla June's horse. She's just out on lease with
Both of us.
Yeah, in between us. Until she has to retire.
Okay.
But she's still doing really good.
We have like a shared lease, kind of.
Yeah.
Because she's currently injured over here. Yeah.
So what do you use her for?
She's a Liberty horse.
Liberty horse.
Okay. So it sounds like you guys are very dynamic people. You have a lot of irons in the fire, and you guys are only 13 years old. So how do you balance school? And do you do any sports, or how do you balance all of this?
I do public school, and I'm a dancer, so my horses are kind of chunky, I'll say, because competitive dance takes up a lot of your time, like a lot. And so for the majority of the week, it's mostly dance. And then, like, if I don't have dance that day, then my schedule normally looks like get up, go to school for 8 hours, come home, go to the barn for like 4 hours, come home, finish homework by like 11 o'clock, and go to bed. Maddie over here doesn't have to worry about all that.
I'm homeschooled.
Okay.
And my hobby is horses and only horses. I don't do anything else.
Okay.
But right now
She tried and ran into a wall.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, right now I get up and I feed, and then I do school, and then wait around till I feed again, because it's pretty hard to ride when the doctors won't let you.
Yeah, that's fair. Glad we're following doctor's advice.
All right.
Darn.
All right, so what is one piece of advice you would have for especially young girls getting into trick riding or even horses in general?
I would say be confident, and like trick riding and like Roman riding, like all the performance stuff is scary, and you're definitely gonna not feel confident sometimes, but it's a very demanding sport, and you have to remember that like not everything's gonna go perfectly. Like for example, last winter I was doing a trick. I did a backward somersault and I like split my helmet down the middle on hard solid ground. And then I was really terrified of that trick, but now I can do it perfectly fine because I was just like, oh wait, it's actually not hard. I just fell. So you kind of have to just like get in that mindset that you can do it, and don't let it scare you away from the thing, like from trick riding. And just follow your dreams.
Good advice.
I would say it's really mentally challenging more than it is physically, because the idea of hanging from one foot and the only thing that's holding you in is like gravity and your foot being flexed, that's like really scary. So it's like, it's more mentally than it is physically challenging, because as long as you're like in shape, then you'll be fine and you don't fall off.
Awesome.
I like that you guys have talked about the mental game and the mental challenges. And how do you guys, being young and on social media, I assume, how do you guys get through that? How do you deal with the mean things people say, or just?
You see, I've gotten really random comments. I have a Facebook page, and I'm on Instagram more. Like, my mom more runs my Facebook, and I more run my Instagram. And I had a reel that went viral, and people were like, she's too skinny. I'm like, want me to go eat 400 hamburgers? I'll still look the same. And then there was other people that were like, you're abusing your horses, because like I have cue sticks that I use because obviously I can't use my legs, and I tap their saddle, like not their saddle, they're kind of like their bareback pad and their neck before I go over a jump. And there was a slow-mo of me getting ready to go over a jump, and people were like, you're whacking the poor horse, she's gonna hate you forever. I'm like, yeah, I bet she just hates me so much. But I mean, I kind of just have to remember they're random people on the internet that are just, I don't know them, like,
And they don't know you.
yeah, like they can hate on me all they want, but at the end of the day, what do they know about my life? Yeah.
We, on our shared Facebook page, we rarely get hate comments.
Good,
Like,
good.
I've gotten like one, and I don't remember what it
Good.
was.
yeah,
But even just being a teenager these days,
Yeah.
like, it's hard out there being a teenager, but
really, I think it's more funny when people like
Yeah.
start bullying us for doing random things.
Like, one person commented on my thing, love the horse, not the gal.
oh,
Yeah.
Like, okay, want me to go jump it then instead?
yeah. But how do you just block it out and think about the positive things? Or?
Yeah, most of the time it's really entertaining, because then my fans will go in and start defending
so
me, and then it's like a whole thread. And it's like really entertaining to watch. It's like a comedy show. And then
It is.
And then I just end up deleting the whole thread after they're done.
So you have a Pegasus Riders following. It sounds like. What's your fan club's name? Do they have a fan
But
club
we
name?
should make one.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely do.
What should we name it?
The Peggies.
The Peggies.
Hey, my little wings, what's up?
Ooh, the wings. That's catchy. All right, now when that goes viral and that becomes a thing, make sure you have to tag Midwest Horse Fair. It started right here.
right here at this table.
I'm gonna start calling everyone the wings.
The
They're-
little
I think
wings.
that's
We're
very
gonna
good
we're
idea.
They're the
gonna introduce
wind
them.
beneath your wings. There
Yes.
you go. This is perfect.
All right, so you're talking about your social media here. If listeners want to follow you, where would they go? Kind of tell us about that.
On Facebook, mine is Liberty Cunningham, Trick and Roman Rider, and I'm pretty sure my tag is Liberty's Legend. And then on Instagram, it's also Liberty's Legends. And then I have a YouTube that I posted on like once, and then I posted a video, and then I was done editing it, and it took too long, and I didn't post it. But that's also Liberty's Legend. So, and I have a website.
Cool.
Also
You can
Liberty's
guess the
Legend.
name.
Liberty's
yeah.
Legend. Okay.
So I kind of go by Liberty's Legend. I
Well
don't
branded.
really know where that came from, but yeah.
Okay. And Maddie?
I don't really have like a personal one. 'cause
She's scared to post.
I just don't like posting. It's too much work.
Yeah.
We have a shared one that's Pegasus Riders on Facebook, and I think it's
I haven't posted on the Instagram one since 2023,
Gosh.
so I don't recommend.
don't follow
Go
the
on that
Instagram,
one.
just the Facebook.
Follow Pegasus Riders on Facebook.
Yes.
We can do that. We can do that.
Well, thank you, ladies, so much for joining us and talking about what you do. So thank you once again, and we'll catch you doing your thing.
Yes.
Thank you for being a part of the Midwest Horse Fair.
Thank you.
Bye.
The Midwest Horse Fair is proudly presented by the Wisconsin State Horse Council Incorporated for over 40 years. Net proceeds from the fair are used by the Wisconsin State Horse Council to promote the equine industry through leadership, education, service, and communication, as well as taking a proactive role in the future growth and development of the equine industry. Thanks again for listening to the Midwest Horse Fair Outside the Arena podcast, where we share stories from expert horse clinicians and entertainers. We hope that you enjoyed this episode and continue to tune in every month and learn about the lives and hear valuable advice from the folks we are proud to have join us at the fair. Learn more about the Midwest Horse Fair at midwesthorsefair.com.
It's not a horse show, it's a horse fair, and you gotta be there. It's the great Midwest Horse Fair.